Morning, namaste. Welcome to morning practice, Dharma Yoga practice. As always, please practice according to your condition and your ability level. Feel free to leave out the the variations that are not suitable for you, and modify as you need to. I'll try to give some modifications for those to suit other level, more entry level practitioners. So thank you for joining, and let's go. So let's begin. Sit tall, supremely still. Close the eyes and bring the attention inward. Before creation and beyond the ends of this universe, there was always and will always be God, established in the midst of it all. Attuned to that supreme consciousness that resides within and prevails everywhere. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your thoughts in God alone. And in God you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering, and enjoy this practice through our senses. May the Lord bestow upon us the knowledge, the fruits of the knowledge that release us from pain and suffering. And may He guide us and protect us through the practice. May we acquire a strong desire for that liberation from pain and suffering. And may we harbor no ill feelings against each other, only peace, love, joy, and compassion. So now let's start with the Om Namah Shivaya mantra, which means I bow to the inner light. Om Namah let's start off by stimulating the chakras, those main energy centers that reside along the central psychic channel that's coincident with the spine. So we're going to do the seed mantra that's associated with each of those chakras, located at the root, the sacral area, the navel, the heart, the base of the throat, the third eye, and the crown. So imagine you're stimulating them and trying to open them up. Once they're open, the energy can pass through them freely. So it's just 7 different tones on the same bija mantra, same seed mantra on each of those centers. So start at the base of the spine. Concentrate there, the color red. And repeat after me. Lam, 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 lam. Repeat. Lam, 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 lam. Go now to the sacral chakra. Vam, 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 vam. Vam, 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 vam. The navel chakra. Ram, 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 ram. Ram, 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 ram. Now the heart. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum. Now the base of the throat. Hum, 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 hum. Hum, 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 hum. Now the crown. Om, 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 om. Oh, sorry, the third eye. Sorry, I missed the third eye. Om, 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 om. Om, 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 om. And now the crown, color violet. One long sustained om. Inhale. Om. Again, inhale. Now we're going to take the attention to the crown again, and we're going to hum, we're going to chant the sound sum, S-U-M. This helps to promote mental sharpness. Concentrate mostly on the M vibration, the vibration produced by the M part of the sound. Sitting up tall. Sum. Again, inhale, imagine the mind becoming sharp. Sum. One last time, inhale, loud and long. Inhale, sum. muscles of the mind are becoming clear and sharp. So we would see visions of becoming one with God. When we see God everywhere, then that is a sign of self-realization. You see sameness everywhere, for God resides in all beings, in all forms. One last one, Purifier Panayama. So we're breathing through both sides of the nose on the inhale for 4 counts, holding a breath for 12, and exhaling through the left. So through the breath retention, we're holding the breath, and at the same time we're holding attention to the space between the eyebrows. We're plugging the nose as well. So for this one, your left hand is in Jnana Mudra, the second finger and thumb form a circle, the other 3 fingers extended, resting on your left knee. The right hand, second and third fingers fold down to the palm, turn the palm towards you. The thumb blocks off the right nostril, the right ring finger for the left nostril. Use only those 2 fingers of the right hand. And then on the exhale, when you have to exhale through the left, you keep the right side closed, and you exhale, you just release the right ring finger so that the air can pass out to the left. Okay, so you can just watch me as we do it. And for the breath retention, contract the root muscles, pull them up towards the navel. Imagine you're lifting the whole pelvic floor up. Bring the chest up high, inflate the chest. Bring the chin on the chest. And then bring the tongue to the teeth, behind the teeth, the upper palate. This will seal the lock even more. Attention again in this brow center. Okay, so your attention attracts all the prana, all the life force there. Now imagine as you're doing this, you're bringing the best of the best into you. You're also purifying all those psychic receptors that reside everywhere throughout the body. And the more you purify them, the more you become open to everything, to allow yourself to realize even more for yourself. And the biggest purifier is, of course, ahimsa, compassion. So when we're compassionate towards all beings, when we're observant of that compassion, then this is what helps us to ward off the negative effects of karma. So let's begin. Exhale completely, release all the air from the lungs. We'll just do this 3 times. Inhale through both sides, 2, 3, 4. Plug the nose, right thumb and the right ring finger, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale to the left side, release the locks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale through both sides, the nose. 3, 4, push the chest up, hold the breath, chin on the chest, contract the root muscles, pull them up towards the navel. Keep the attention at the third eye. 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale to the left, release the locks. 2, 3, relax the throat and the root. 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale to both sides of the nose. Hold for 12 counts. Everything stops. All the attention in the space from your eyebrows. Exhale to the left side. Release the locks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Now let's begin the practice. Let's come to standing. And now to promote further purification of the nadis within, as well as the space in the grounds around us, surrounding us. We do the mantra for purification. If you know it, you can chant along with me. If you don't, just imagine you're chanting through your guru's mouth. You're the voice, the guru's voice is your own. And you derive all the benefits as though you're chanting it perfectly. We'll do it 3 times. Try to do each one in a single breath. Inhale. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Vihantraha Sachihi. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Vihantraha Sachihi. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Vihantraha Sachihi. Release the arms. And we'll start with some exercise to prepare the body for the practice. Imagine you are now the witness watching a body moving by itself. We'll start to twist from side to side, throw the arms around the body. Feel as though the arms were heavy ropes. Try to see all the way around you. And then start to move a little bit faster. So shake the shoulders. Feel as though the arms were dead. Just hitting the body any which way, the head flying all the directions. Go as fast as you can. And then start to slow it down. Good. Hands on the hips. Start to circle the head. Try to see the floor in all directions as the head moves around. Ears touching the shoulders, the chin touching the chest, the back of the head touching the top of the back. And then switch the direction. And now, left foot in front, right foot a little bit behind and to the side. Imagine you have a weight in your right hand. Give you momentum to circle the arm. Feel as though the arm are very heavy as it comes down. And go backwards. Forward again. And back. Other side now. Right foot in front and left hand. Circles forward. And go back. Feels like you're winding yourself up like a great machine. Go forward again. And back. Stand with your feet apart about 10 inches. Bring your arms up. Take hold of the elbows and slide them down a little bit closer to the shoulders. And then go to the left. Go to the right. Left and right. Back, forward, and back again. Lift the chest, forward, round the back, chin to the chest, and release. Good. Now shake out the wrists, fingers flying, very rapid, very rapidly. And then up and down. Now take your arms up to the side and swing the right leg back and forth. Try to touch the knee to the shoulder. Imagine trying to kick yourself in the head from behind. And then the other leg now. Release. Good. Now let's come to the front of the mat. Hands together at the heart. Close the eyes. Come back to the intention of offering up all the fruits of the practice. Imagine this as your divine duty to all beings everywhere. So imagine moving together in time with yogis everywhere to deliver benefits to all beings. Raise your arms up over the head. Surya Namaskara. Come forward and down into Uttanasana. Chest on the sides, head down. Right foot back into lunge, sink down to the seat. Come into high plank, lower down the knees, bring the seat all the way back behind the heels. Glide forward, pull with the arms, bring the body between your arms, bring your head back. all the way back, the seat behind heels. Come forward again. Push the elbows out to the side if you need to ease the movement. Come all the way back. Brush your nose to the ground as you come forward. Glide gracefully into your Cobra. Bring head back, the chest open and up. Roll over your toes back into downward facing dog. Sink the heart towards the ground. Head comes down. Right foot steps forward to the hand. Sink down to the seat. If you need to, lower the knee down first, and then if the foot doesn't make it all the way, use the right hand to assist the foot forward. Bring your feet back together, chest on the thighs, head down. Come right up to standing. Reach up and back, hips forward. Bring the hands back to the heart. Raise your arms over the head again. Go down. Don't worry about the breath. Just move the body in a way that feels natural to move with the breath easily. And keeping the breath nice and even and uniform. Knees down, the seat all the way back. The breath will figure out what to do. Come forward into the Cobra, all the way back again. And again. Pull the body forward. Tug the floor with your arms to propel your body forward with more ease and grace. All the way back one last time. Glide forward. Propel your body forward with power, with ease. Roll over your toes back into Anamukha-Savanasana, melt the heart. Left foot steps forward to the hands. You can make the adjustments as you need to. Feet together, bow to the legs, head down. Come right up to standing, reach up and back. Hands back to the heart. Again, open yourself up to divine grace. Bring your arms up. Lose yourself in the sensations. Bring your body down onto your legs. Then the right foot glides back into a lunge. Come into high plank. Ashtanga-namaskara. Knees, chest, forehead down. Scoop right through into the Cobra. Back into downward facing dog. Feel as though you're doing a dance. Connect all the movements seamlessly. Right foot forward. Step between your hands softly. Landing the foot without a sound. Left foot comes in to meet the right. Forward fold. Come up all the way. Hands back to the heart. Let's try to make the practice a beautiful sight to watch for the witness who's always observing. Left foot back into a lunge. Into plank. But imagine that you're witnessing through the eyes of God, always seeing everything with unconditional love and non-judgment. Back into Adho Mukha Savanasana with the seat up and back. Left foot forward to the hands. Sink down to the seat. Then bow down as though in humbleness. Body gets the legs. Come all the way up to standing. Arch back as you see fit. Hands back to the heart. Adding on. Reach your arms up over the head. Stretch. Come forward and down. Fold the body in half. Chest on the thighs. Bending the knees. Join the hands behind the back. Telescope the head, chest further forward, and then Uttanasana. Push the body against the legs. Maybe the legs will straighten a little bit more. If you can get your legs straight, you can bring your forehead right against your shins. Then release the hands. Bring the right foot back. Lower the knee down, sink down to the seat. Raise your arms up over the head. Pull the body up out of the hips. Reach back, crescent moon. And then bring the hands back down. From here, plant the hands. You can swing the left leg all the way up, three-legged dog. Come forward, shoulders over the fingertips. If you can, lower down your chest first between your hands. If you need to, you can lower down your knee at the same time as the chest is coming down. Then the toes come down, follow through with your Cobra. Back into Adho Mukha Savanasana. Again, mount the heart towards the ground. Raise your right leg up, three-legged dog. Step the foot between your hands. Bring your shoulders over the fingertips so that you can land the foot without a big heavy thud. Drop your seat down, again close to the front heel. Arms come up over the head. Feel so you're pulling the body up out of the hips. And then bring the hands back down. Slide your left foot in to meet the right, chest on the thighs. Join the hands. Extend through the crown. Exhale, plunge the head down. Push the legs back again with your body. Release the hands, sweep them over the head. Come back home, Panamasana. Again, raise your arms up over the head, hips forward, go down gracefully. Chest on the thighs, Join the hands, extend through the crown, and pull the body down onto your legs. Head comes close to the ground. Release the hands. Left foot back. Lower the knee down, sink down to the seat. Raise your arms up over the head. Reach back behind. And then bring the hands back down. Plant the hands, bend the toes under on the left foot, and swing the right leg all the way up and back. Ekapada Adho Mukha Savasana. Come forward, shoulders over the fingertips, keep your leg high, and then lower down the chest again. Modify by bringing the knee down first, along with the chest. Come through into the Cobra, back into downward facing dog. Keep watching the body moving by itself with fluidity and grace. Left leg comes up and back, and then push into your hands. Shoulders come forward to the fingertips, engage the core, place the foot down softly. Lower the knee down, sink through the seat. Raise your arms over the head. And right back down. Slide your right foot into the left. Land the belly on your thighs. Join your hands, extend through the crown. Again, pull the body down onto your legs. Reach the hands further forward beyond your head. Release the hands. Sweep them up and over the head. Stretch the front of the body. And bring the hands back to the heart. 2 more cycles, another variation. Reach the arms up. Be open, receptive to all experiences, for they all teach us something. Every bit of knowledge helps to remove the ignorance that causes pain and suffering. Hips and shoulders forward, press into your hands. And then you can either walk backward or float back into chaturanga, or right onto your belly. So going according to your condition. Drag your body forward and through into your Cobra, and then lift your hips and knees up off the ground. Pull the shoulders back. Try to get your hips a little bit further forward between your hands. Thighs and knees away from the ground. Now imagine you're a dog howling at the moon. Copy the form physically what you see in your imagination. Roll over your toes, back into downward facing dog. Now, think of a dog stretching its back. Copy it mentally as well. Pretend you're a loyal dog who does everything without fail, without hesitation to its master. Pulse a little bit, just bounce to the chest. Try to get to your head closer to the ground, maybe even resting on the ground if you can, top of the head. And now lift the heels, bend the knees, look between your hands. Bring your feet forward, hopping or walking. Pull the body down onto your legs again. Uttanasana. Rise up. Arms up over the body, over the head, hands back to the heart. 1 more like that. Raise your arms over the head, stretch the whole front. Come all the way down. Feel the spine going long. Lift the hand, chest, push into your hands, shoulders over the fingertips. And then back. Land as softly as you can. Through to upward facing dog. And we're going to oscillate between downward facing dog and upward facing dog. So move back into downward facing dog, roll over your toes, round your back as you're coming forward. And then arch, pull the shoulders back. Make sure you don't lift your neck, keep your neck long. Telescoping out of your shoulders. All the way back into downward facing dog. Form a steep curve behind your head, between your shoulder blades. And then roll forward again into upward facing dog. And back into downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Lift the heels, bend the knees. Look between your hands and bring your feet forward, hopping or walking. Pull the body down onto your legs. Come all the way up. Bring the hands back to the heart. Remain stationary here. From the heart, breathe up to the space between the eyebrows. Exhale back down to the heart. These are 2 important points in the body. Remain established in God in mind and heart. Good. And release. So in the mind, we try to remain clear-minded and with discernment. In the heart, ever-loving and compassionate. So let's start with some balance poses. Standing on your left foot, let's take the right heel up Try to take hold of the inside heel, thumb behind the heel. And then bring the arm and the leg up at the same time. Try to get your fingers and toes to come to the same height. Maybe it's a little bit closer to the height of the shoulders. More flexible. Pull the foot up higher, closer to the shoulder. Lean a little bit to the left. Push your chest up. Good. Be like that magnificent dancer, poised and graceful. Be very flexible. You can take another variation. You might be able to take hold of the foot, pull the heel in towards your chest. Reach around the front of the foot, take hold of the outside edge of the foot, and the leg is right beside your head. Your arm can come out to the side. So this is another nice variation if you have flexibility. Now from here, engage leg muscles so it doesn't come down fast and hard. Keep the leg up. I'm going to go into gliding eagle. So now come forward. The head is about the height of the knee. Spread your wings. Imagine you're an eagle soaring down from a great cliff. Again, try not to jam up the back of the neck. If you're having trouble balancing, take your index fingers to the ground. And when you find a balance, fly again, arms up to the side. Push into the left foot, come back up. Try it now on the other side. Standing firm on the right foot. Try to make the entry, the hold, and the exit always smooth. Whatever happens, be unconcerned. These are just the gunas shifting the universe from different states, from a calm, serene state to a restless, action-filled state to a lethargic state. Be unconcerned and undisturbed, unaffected as much as possible. Again, so you can take it out to the side. If you need to, you bend your knee. If you can't get your leg straight, and hold underneath the leg. You want to take the more advanced variation, you can push with your left shoulder against the inside of the knee and take your foot up beside your head. Okay, ready to exit. Come down, slowly engage the left leg muscles so that doesn't come flying down hard and heavy. And see if you can make it all the way into eagle without letting the foot down in between. Again, just do your best. Don't worry. Don't be attached to the results. Let go of all expectations. And then release. Come back up. Good. So we're going to try another one now. So move to the back of the mat, step your left foot forward. Reach down with your left hand, fingertips on the ground, and then raise your right leg up. Turn to the right, come up into Abachandrasana. You have the hip and your shoulders stacked one on top of one another. Those you want can bend the knee, take hold of the foot, and push the foot away from the seat. Try to get the right shoulder come all the way back. Even more. Look over your top shoulder. Now from here, you can look down. If you're having trouble with this, having balance, you can even come down onto your knee. So you can even do it from here. Okay, so those who need the modification, go ahead. If you want to go even further, however, you can look forward, turn your right hip in, press off the left foot, take a half breath in and come right up into dancer. Okay, so take a nice form here, cant the body forward. Any expression you like. If you know other variations, feel free to explore them. Come back up and release. Try it on the other foot now. Moving to the back end of the mat. Step your right foot forward, reach down. Stay on your right fingertips, gives you a little bit more space. You won't want to jam up the other side of the body. Lift the left leg up, turn to the left, raise the left arm up. Try not to have the front of the shoulder jutting forward. Press it back, straight line from hand to hand. Again, you can do this on your knee if you need to modify, if you're having trouble balancing or have a little bit of flexibility. All good, just do what you can. If you like, bend the knee, take hold of the foot. You can do this whether you're on your knee or on your foot. Push the foot away from the seat. Open up the chest. Stretch from the shoulder to the knee. And again, if you want to go to the next one, dancer, look forward, roll the left hip in. A little soft bend in your right knee, push into the foot, and come up. Take a half breath in. Sometimes it helps as you're coming up to lighten up. And again, you can take other forms as you like. Release. Come back down. Okay, so stand sideways now on the mat, so you're facing out to the long edge of the mat. Take your fingertips together in line with your elbows and then jump your feet apart like a star. Turn to your left, Virabhadrasana 2. Sink down, look over the front fingers, come into the consciousness of a warrior, strong and brave, determined, ever ready to execute its mission, their mission. Swing the right arm up, turn forward, or Virabhadrasana 1. So if your hip doesn't turn around square, you can come off the heel. Sometimes it's easier to find the alignment here. Hips and shoulders are facing forward, straight line from the base of the spine right up to the fingertips. Allow the head to go all the way back. Gesture of abject devotion. Now lower the knee down, flatten out the toes, straighten out the foot a little bit. And from here, you can take hold of the opposite elbows, hold closer to the shoulders. Push the foot back, push the back of the head back into your arms. Lean away from the leg. Feels as it's trying to look like you're lying on your back. And from here, you can straighten your arms, Kapyasana. Wiggle your shoulders a little bit more if you like. Try to get the arms behind the ears. Crescent moon. Reach to infinity behind you. You have good balance. You can try to bring your right foot up. Touch your head. If you're having trouble balancing, you can take your fingertips to the ground. Once the foot finds the head, allow the head to sit in your foot. And bring your arms up again. This is, if you know the variation, if you're more advanced in your practice, you can always try it. Break the pose. So now we're going to bring our hands to the inside of the left foot. Walk the left foot out a little bit more to the outside of the mat. Just rock back and forth a few times. Seeing if you can sink down through the seat. Imagine you have hips in your weight pockets, in your hip pockets. Weights in your hip pocket. Did I say that? Just like that. Lower the hips right down. Feel as though they're anchored to the ground. Feel as though you're doing a cobra here. Shoulder stays close to the knee. And knee to the shoulder. And then roll to the right. See if you hit the right forearm down. Roll to the left, left forearm down. Keep telescoping the chest forward. Keep lengthening. Eventually the chest will come closer to the ground, maybe on the ground completely. So if you're close to the ground or on the ground, you might consider moving your left arm to the outside of the foot so you can get your chest flat down. So again, make sure the knee doesn't pop out to the side. If it does, move your foot out a little bit more so the knee's in line with the foot. Those of you who can take the bind. Flat on the ground, left arm comes around the outside in front of the foot, underneath the knee, over the back. Right hand comes over the back as well. You just hold the wrist with your left hand. Left shoulder is right by the foot, or on the foot. Again, these are just variations. Just do your best. Go where it's appropriate for you. Getting ready to come out. Come back onto your hands. Move the left foot back. So your legs are like a box. So turn sideways, your legs at 90 degrees. Bend the toes under and the back foot. Raise your right arm up. Take the outside of the knee. Left hand can either stay on the hip, push the hip down, roll it down, or on a seat. Inhale, lift through the chest. Turn to look behind you. Look over your left shoulder. You can alternatively reach back and take your left hand to the outside of the foot. Push the knee and the foot towards the right as you continue to twist to the left. Rise up tall. You can stay here. If you want to go into Parivrtta Parsvakonasana, you can. So if you want to go further, go turn forward, right arm up, elbow to the outside of the thigh. The armpit is sitting on the outside of the knee. And then you can take your hands to prayer position, or left hand forms a fist, push into the right hand. This sometimes gives you more power to lift the body up. As the hands come down, your chest comes up, and eventually your center of the chest is coming to the thumbs. Roll the left shoulder all the way back, face and chest looking up. Those of you who want can try bind. If your elbows are in the space below the knee, use your left hand to guide the hand underneath the leg. The hand comes to the belly, and left hand goes over the round, the back. Hold it from underneath with your right hand. If you can, lift the back knee up off the ground. Pull the left hip back, head forward, and roll a little bit more with the exhale. Chest and face straight up. Stay on your knee if you like. If it's better for you to find a balance. Try go to a place where everything can stop. The mind and the body in stillness. Release. Bring the hands down. Right hand's a little bit in front of the shoulder. It can come into Vastisthasana from here. So just lift your hip, turn on the outside of the foot, and then left foot stacks on top or in front. Okay, if you want to go further, you can spin on your hand a little bit, slide your left foot back. Try to have your hips up. Arm is fully extended. Your hips are locked up. Right foot is at 45-degree angle, flat on the ground. And if you're pushing hard into your right hand and right foot, you might be able to take your knee up. The leg becomes weightless, or imagine it is, and you can even take your foot. Keep your hip up nice and high. Push into the foot and your hand. And release. Come back down into downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out, sink. And then from here, we're going to bring the right foot forward to the hands. Spin on your feet. Look to the front, and then look to your arm. In front, so you're facing a long edge of the mat, and come back up. So, depending on which side you're facing, you might be facing the wrong way. Like when you're facing, when you turn to the right, if you can't see the camera, just turn 100 degrees. So just jump, just like that. Okay, so turn to the right in any case. Virabhadrasana 2. Sink down low into the seat. Be powerful and strong like the warrior. Bring the left hand up to meet the right. Gaze up at the hands above you. Nice strong line. Again, you can lift your heel if it's better. If it allows you to turn your hip a little bit more. Square off the hips. Reach up. Lower the knee down. Flatten out the toes. Straighten out the foot. Make sure the foot's not bent out to the side. Take hold of the opposite elbows again. And just allow the weight of your head to just rest on your arms and pull you back a little bit further. Lean away from the leg. Drop the seat down nice and low. Make sure you're not creating compression in the lower back. Curl the tail under. Stretch out of the hips. Full Kapyasana if you can. Wiggle the shoulders. Chest. Almost parallel to the ground eventually. If you want to try to take your back foot up. Go ahead. Keep your seat low so that you can keep balanced. Go ahead and take your fingertips down if you need to. Then when the head is resting on your foot, you might be able to take your arms up again. Break the pose. Now coming into lizard, move the right foot out further to the edge of the mat. Try to keep your foot and your knee the same line. Push back and forth a few times. Get your hips to sink towards the ground. Feel heavy through the hips. Lower the knee down, flatten out the toes. Again, get this sense that you're doing a cobra. Anchor down through the hips. You can stay on your hands. This is where you're at. This is where your limit is. Or roll to the left. So you can get your left forearm down. Roll back towards the right forearm down. Keep telescoping your head and chest forward. Try to have your knee eventually higher than the rest of your body. And if you keep on reaching forward, the body gets closer to the ground, eventually maybe right on the ground. If you can get your chest on the ground, go ahead and do so. And you can take your bind if you like, right arm circles around the front of the leg, around the outside and underneath the knee. Left hand can come onto the back and you just hold it with your right hand, the wrist. Fix your gaze, feel like a lizard sunning yourself on a warm earth. Just be in the shoes of everything you're representing. Merge with all the forms. Release, come back onto the hands. Push yourself back up. Again, have that nice square stance with your legs, like a box. Bend the toes under on the back foot. Left arm up. Go to the right. Push against the knee. Hand can stay on the hip. Roll the thigh down. Roll the hip down, or the hand to the seat, or behind on the heel. Now push the knee and the heel towards the left as you turn towards the right. Try not to shrink down. Keep tall. Chest open. Look over your right shoulder. If this is quite easy for you, you want to go into Parivrtta Parsvanatkanasana. Go ahead, left arm comes up, across the outside. Hands again in prayer. Or the fist in the hand, so the body comes up higher than the thigh. It gives you more room to spin. Roll the right shoulder all the way back. Or you can take a bind. Elbow is underneath, in the space below the knee. Use your right hand to guide the hand through. So now slips underneath the leg and the hand, the back hand's against the belly. Right arm goes over the back. And you can maybe take hold of the wrist or lock the fingers together. Keep turning, roll the right shoulder back. Maybe you can take your left knee up off the ground as well at some point. Try to have it so that your body's on the same line as the thigh, right thigh. Your chest is turned all the way up like you're lying on your back. Pose, slowly and gracefully. Left hand comes down and flow in front of the left shoulder. And then from here, move the hips back and then come into side plank. You can lower onto your left knee if you need to. Push your hips forward. If you want to go further, wild thing. Slide your right toes back, spin on your hand. Make sure the left foot again is at 45-degree angle. Bring it in closer so you can get your hips higher. If your hips are low, it's going to feel heavy and it's going to drag you down and you'll lose strength faster. So keep your hips up so that you can find a nice firm stance. And you can take your knee, maybe even the foot. You should feel like you're doing an Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow. Back down into downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out all fatigue. And then step the right foot to the hands, between the hands, spin on your feet again, and bring your arms up, out to the side. Good, now from here, I'm going to turn this way so you can see. Bring your hands back to the heart. From the heart, inhale up to the space between the eyebrows. Exhale back down to the heart. Remain established in divine love towards all. Easy Chakrasana. Bring your hands to the seat, push into the seat, pull down at the same time. Turn your heels in a little bit. And then bend your knees come over your toes. Push your hips forward. You can bring your knees way forward, the toes if you like, to keep steady. Keep the outer edges of the feet firmly planted. Bring your head back. If you feel comfortable, slide one hand at a time. Down the backs of the legs. Hold just below the knees so you have control of the legs. And then you just roll the thighs outwards and roll the shins inward at the same time. The thumbs come further between your legs. And then so you can push with the heels, your palms into just underneath the knees. Try to get your hips higher and forward. Straighten your legs, bring the head all the way back. If you feel comfortable, you can walk your hands down a little bit further. Maybe some of you will be able to step on your fingers. Maybe some of you will be able to step your heels on your fingers. That's what I wanted to say. And then make your way back up. So, if your hands on the knees or further down, walk them one at a time. Palm your way up. Push into the seat, pull down at the same time, and come up. Arms out to the side, Prasarita Padottanasana. Hinge forward. Take hold the opposite, not opposite, just the inside of the legs, or step on your fingers with the outside edges of the feet. Extend to the ground and pull your body right between your legs if you can. Try to get your head sitting right between your feet. Same line. Lift the seat up. Try to pull your body further through. Straight line from the base of the spine right down to the crown. Inhale, come up halfway, bring your hands down. So a few options here. You're very flexible. You can just slide your feet out further, come into side splits. Okay, so other option here is you can walk your hands forward, come into plank, and then lower your knees down. Heels in the same line as your knees. And then you can see if you come onto your forearms and try to get your hips to come, your seat to come down. Try not to have your seat sticking up. Curl it down. Tuck it under and see if you can get flat. If you are flexible, like I said, just slide your feet up further and further. Maybe eventually you'll come right down. Those who are very flexible can come down with your chest as well. Move according to your condition. Don't go to a place of pain or anxiety. It's not what you want to transmit. So while we want to do our best and we want to advance, do it in a mindful way. Listen to the signals that the body is sending you. Now we're going to come back, so walk back, lean forward, pushing the heels, your palms, so lift up, and then start to walk one foot in, and then when at a comfortable distance, you can start to walk the other way in as well. And then come back to the original starting position. Arms out to the side, come all the way up. And back into easy Chakrasana again. Turn your heels in and go back. Push your hips forward, curl the tail under. Again, according to your comfort level. If you feel uncomfortable with bringing your head back, just keep your chin tucked in. Just concentrate on lifting your chest. If you're very flexible, you feel comfortable, you can even go into Urdhva Make sure you can see the floor. And if your head's close to the ground, you take one hand over your head, fingertips come to the ground, and then the other hand. Again, make sure that you're not a mile away from the ground. You should be able to see the floor easily. And be within an arm's length to touch the ground with your fingers. Come back up, same way. Reverse it. One hand, push into the back of the leg, push the heel of your palm into just below the knee. Have a strong grip so you can take the other hand and walk your way back up. And everybody can do this now. Everybody come back up. Nice and slow and steady. Arms out to the side. Bring the hands back to the heart. From the heart again, breathe up to the space between the eyebrows. Exhale back down to the heart. And then step your feet back together. Arms by the sides of the body. Stand tall like a mountain, unshakable and movable in your devotion. And then come down onto your knees. So now we're going to do inversions. Shilshasana, headstand, king of the postures. If you know how to get into it, then please go ahead, go right into the pose and then just try to find quietness. Once you find the pose, bring your attention to the space between your eyebrows and keep it there if you can. Watch the body by standing there by itself. If you need other modifications, then consider a few of these. If you're very uncomfortable being too far away from the ground and want to keep the feet on the ground as well, you can start off with hare pose. Forehead to the ground, arms beside your legs, and just lift your seat. Try to have your hips over your knees. You'll feel pressure on the back of the neck. The back of the neck stretches. If it's too much, just bring your head forward a little bit. Okay, so you can just stay there. If you want, you can try a couple of others. So place your hands beside your knees, head in front. Make sure your hands are not beside your head. Slide them back so you can see the hands clearly. Your arms at 90-degree angles. Try to have your elbows over the wrists. And then lift your seat, walk forward, and just push just underneath the knees against the elbows. Push into the hands, firmly into the ground, and then just see if you can flick your toes up away from the ground. Even just one foot, dance from foot to foot. When you pull the toes away from the ground, you're very close to the ground. It's not far you can go. You can also, if you feel more comfortable, bring your feet up a little bit higher, slide your knees in towards your shoulders. Okay, and then eventually you can make your way up. Maybe press into your hands, your knees lift, hovering just above the knees. And eventually you maybe bring one foot behind, one foot stays in front. Push the thigh in towards the belly. So your feet are hanging, dangling low to the ground. Keep your feet active. Flex your feet so you stay, your core, you engage your root muscles. Alright. If it's too much pressure on your head, you can take hold of your opposite elbows first. Make sure you can hold them easily, interlace your fingers, and then you're distributing the weight along your forearms as well, so it's a little bit less pressure on your head. Bring your head between your palms, and then here you can do the same thing. Bring one leg back. Keep your foot close to the seat, bend the toes, and just pulse up and down off the heel. And then maybe at some point you can bend your toes back away from the ground so they're hovering just above the ground. Don't jump hard and fast. You're going to go right over your back. Always, again, in a controlled way. No jerky movements, no fast, aggressive movements. As you continue to push through the back foot, eventually you'll have your feet dangling at the same height above the hips. And keep watching everything like you're watching everything. Play it out in your mind like a movie. Make that picture very graceful and beautiful to watch, to be pleasing to the witness who's always watching. A divine offering. Stay a little bit longer. The longer you hold the poses, the more progress you make, more in a more rapid way. do child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Roll your way up. Okay, now we're going to shoulder stand, Queen of the Postures. Excuse me. Bring your legs around the front. Come to the front end of the mat. A few ways to get into this. You can roll right into it, into plow, and then come up. So just show that. It's the easiest way to get in. So roll back, push into your arms, and your feet over your head. You can stay here if you like. Your knees close to the head or to the chest. And bring your hands. You can just stay here. This is where you're at. If you feel comfortable, do so. Walk your hands closer together so you can touch your heels, your palms together, interlace your fingers, and then your arms will be behind your back. You press your hands into your lower back, and then you bring your legs up, one or both at a time. And now imagine someone's pulling on your feet to get more height. Toes in line with the shoulders, or the chin. If you have a lotus, go ahead into your lotus. Remember, just go to a place where you can find steadiness. Otherwise, the mind won't have an opportunity to find this stillness. If it's uncomfortable, that's all the mind's going to be focused on. Those of you who have right on top of your shoulders can also take your hands up. If you're lotus, try to have your knees higher than your hips. Push your hips forward. That's why you want to try to get as high on your shoulders as possible. Chest looks like a wall. Now, bring your attention inward again to the space between the eyebrows, the seat of divine perception. All movement stops in the body. Imagine all the activity in the mind stopping as well. Slowly make your way into, if you're noticed, Pindasana, embryo pose. Those of you who can take the bind, wrap your arms around the outside of the legs, join your hands underneath the seat. If you don't have a lotus, come into plow. Bring your legs over your head, behind your head. Option to bring your thighs down onto the ground, not on the ground, against your body and your knees, beside your ears. Squeeze into the ears. Withdraw further from the senses. Be unbothered to a greater extent when you do this. Close the eyes, shut out all the inputs coming in through the ears and the eyes. You can rest your arms on the backs of the legs to promote yourself to close in from all the distractions even more. Getting ready to commit. Place your hands behind your back. The thumbs and the index fingers touching. Keep your legs close to the body as you come down. Remember, graceful movements. And when your seat lands on your hands, bring your legs down to about 45-degree angle. Now push into the elbows and lift your upper body up off the ground. So you're sitting like a V pose here, like it's the letter V. From here, push your shoulders back, keep your chest up. Bring your head back and see if you can touch the top of the head to the ground. You can stay here. If it's too much, you can bring your legs down. If you want to go further, take your hands underneath, out from underneath, and bring your hands over your legs. Same angle, palms together, flying fish. Now breathe very fast in the nose like a sniffing dog. bend your knees if the legs are up and bring your feet down. Otherwise, just slide your feet in close to your seat. From here, take your fingertips on either side of the head. So from here, lift your seat up. You're on the top of the head. Just scoot your head back a little bit closer to the feet, and then turn your hands around. Fingers facing towards the towards the feet. Fingers pointing out a little bit toward the edge of the mat as well. You can stay here, or take a half breath in. Lift up, Urdhva Dhanuasana. If that's too much, you can just stay in bridge pose. Your shoulders stay on the ground, lift your seat, and then just push your chest towards your chin. You can support your seat with your hands if you like, around the hips, if that's easy for you. So again, come to a place where you can find steadiness. Those of you who are in Urdhva Dhanuasana, lift your heels if you like, rock back and forth, stretch, try to get your arms and legs to straighten a little bit more. Some of you might be able to walk your hands closer to the feet to make a more pronounced arch. Very flexible. Eventually you can maybe walk your hands until your fingertips are touching your heels. Eventually it becomes more possible to reach around. You have to bend down a little bit, take hold of the ankles one hand at a time. Full wheel. Again, you have to be very flexible, and shoulder mobility has to be very good. So again, don't come to place, don't force, don't send yourself into place of pain. Move the joints in a natural way, no forcing. Getting ready to come down. Walk your hands further away. If you need to first, lower the head down. Try to do this again in a controlled way so you don't drop down heavily. And then from here, rest on your back for a moment. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let go of all fatigue. Okay, scooch back a little bit. So from here, raise your right leg up. Take all the ankle and send the knee onto the shoulder. And pull on the leg. You can slide your left foot in if your hamstrings are very tight. And then keep pulling the foot close to the shoulder. Be very flexible. Your left leg stays extended, and you can even pull your leg out to go out to the right a little bit so that the knee is more or less in the armpit and your foot is just behind and beside your head. Perhaps you can bend the knee now. The heel over the back of the knee, same line, vertical line, half happy baby pose. Here you have a few options. You can stay here and you can bring your foot out to the right, so it looks like ballet pose, like a balance pose we did at the beginning of the class. We're all more common than we think, lots of commonalities. Or you can bring your shoulder in front of the knee and slide your left foot in a little bit, bring your knee into the chest. Try to get your push with the back of the right shoulder, try to get your knee as high as possible so it's close to the ear. And then lift your shoulders up off the ground, your head, push the foot back, pull on the foot towards the left. You might be able to get your leg behind your head eventually. So if that's available to you, go ahead. Once you find a pose where you choose to stay, again, breathe from the base, the space between your heart to the third eye space. Keep that connection reinforcing with God and with all beings. Those who are very flexible can take left leg up, push into the backs of the knees with both shoulders. And I find it easier to pull the feet back, cross the ankles before you slip your head in front of them. And then you can stay in prayer, or if you can, you bring your arms around underneath and join the hands together. Turn on the hands and try to get your feet to the ground eventually. Those of you who are doing yoga Nidra. If you're in this pose, the full sleeping yogi, you stay there, or you break the pose and you do the other side. So you bring your left leg up, knee to the shoulder, again pull on the foot. Those who are flexible can take your foot, leg out a little bit to the left. Try to get your foot to the ground beside and behind your head a little bit. Right leg stays straight. Modify as you need to. Keep your knee bent. Slide your right foot in to make it more accessible. Eventually you can take your knee, slip it to the outside of the body, just underneath the arm. Half happy baby pose. You can stay here, or move the foot out to the left, straighten up the leg, or again try to get your leg behind your head. Helps to get the right leg up, thigh into the chest. Again, just really push into the back of the knee so the knee comes close to the ear. Lift your head up, push the foot back, and then find it easier to have the foot on the ground actually, so that you have a little bit of an anchor point eventually to get your leg behind the head. So again, always in a mindful way. Those of you in the Yoga Nidrasana can come out, can do the whole reverse thing if you like. For a moment you can just take your left foot to the left knee to the shoulder and bring the foot down beside your head. So reverse what we did on the other leg. And then eventually coming down, bring the leg down. Stay here for a moment, breathe in, lie on your back, breathe out, let go of all fatigue. Now make your way to seated and onto your belly. Starting off with Cobra, you can start with Sphinx. Hold the front edge of the mat and pull, tug with your hands so we try to stretch the mat. Anchor down through the lower body, from the hips down. Raise the chest, propel the chest forward. Keep the shoulders heavy. Be like a statue. Like the Sphinx, a great Sphinx, standing the test of time. Eventually with your elbows up, bring your head back, curving the spine a little bit more. Maybe walk your hands a little bit closer. Coming in closer and closer. Eventually beside your hips. Bring your head all the way back. Feet together like the tail of a snake. Lower down. Slowly and gracefully. Again, stack your hands on top of one another and rest your forehead on your hands. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bend your knees. Take hold of your ankles. Inhale, lift the chest. And just push the heels back and your hands away from the seat. You keep your thighs on the ground. Or keep pulling. Kick through the legs and try to get your legs up. Look up, maybe if you see your feet. You can rock on your belly a little bit. If this is too much, you can just do it on your side. So roll onto your right side, and your thighs are parallel. Push the feet away from your head, like you're standing on your knees. Okay, so you can do it on your side like that. Let's stay a little bit longer. Pull up, make it an offering. Offer the best of your best efforts. Forehead again on the hands. Breathe in. Breathe out. hands. Try it one more time. So if you did on your side, go to the other side this time. Other options, you can cross your ankles. Take hold of the feet. Pull up. Keep your ankles firmly crossed. Hook your feet. See if you can release one hand. Go back. Pull the feet towards you first. And then see if you can let go of the other hand. One side's going to be harder than the other. So you have to fight hard or work hard to keep your ankles together. And again, reach back. Pull up again. Come up higher. Stretch the front of the body. And lower down. Pull the heels towards the seat. And release. Forehead on the hands. Breathe in. Breathe out. Soften everything. And now, come back up. So we're going to try Mayurasana. This is a very good pose for the digestive system. Just imagine you're pushing all the toxins out. So you have to have your elbows close in, just alongside the belly button. And then your hands are like this underneath you. So your fingers are spread pointing out. Okay, so you have to round your back a little bit. You have to come forward so that your elbows are not behind your wrists, they're in front. So most of your weight is forward. And you can just stay here, allow your belly to be soft so your elbows can sink in. You can just even stay here. Or raise one leg up. And then the other. Eventually, if you bring your weight forward a little bit, you can get both legs up. Now if it's too much, sometimes it's quite a bit to do that. You can bring your feet in Abachandrasana or in lotus if you have lotus. And again, you have to move forward, round your back. Get your elbows beside your belly so they have to move forward quite a bit. And then press your feet together, come up. Now this one you might end up on your nose, so do it carefully because you come up a little bit more easily than you might think. And release. Come back down, breathe in. Breathe out. And come up, come into a seated position. Let's do either above your leg, left leg extended. Your right foot comes to the outside of the left leg between the heel, the knee and the ankle. If you have more flexibility, you can fold your left leg in so that the heel is beside your right hip. Make sure you're not sitting on your heel. Okay, so it's beside your hip. And your knee is sort of along the center line of the body. Left arm up, reach up, and then go to the right. Push your forearm against the thigh, inhale, lift through the chest, push the lower back up and in. Turn to the right. You can take hold of your heel, tug on the heel. To allow yourself, as you tug on the heel, keep moving towards right as you push the knee beyond the left edge of the body. This applies the same if your leg is straight, but your foot is a little bit further down the leg. Keep the back straight. Now from here, if you want to try, from here you could extend your leg if your leg was folded in. Bring your left hand to the outside alongside the other one. So you have to lean forward, bring your foot in a little bit, push into your foot so you can lift your seat. Reach forward, bring your chest forward, your right leg is sitting on your left arm. And maybe you can bring your left leg back, your right foot forward. If you need to, you can bring your right ear to the ground. Just for fun, not important as Dharma says. Okay, now try the other side. Left leg extends, so right leg to the outside, sorry, the other side. So right leg extends, the left foot to the outside of the right leg, or alternatively fold the heel in towards the seat, just beside the hip, left hip. Right arm up, go to the left. Make sure you don't lean back. Keep your hand right along, just alongside of the spine, but behind the back. Push the knee further towards right as you turn to the left. The whole body turns. From the lower, the base of the spine, all the way up. And to the shoulders move as well. The chin moves over the shoulder. Again, if you want to try the Kundanyasana, you can release the right leg if it was folded. And then from here, right arm up, out to the outside, push into your hands, and then lean forward, push into your left hip, side of the seat. You can lift your seat, bring your left elbow in, so your body can sit on your leg a little bit. Left leg on the right arm, and then bring the right leg up. And then you can bring your left side of the head on the ground if you like. Okay. Or keep it up if you're stronger. Come back down. Now lie on your back. Make your way down. Gracefully as always. Softly. And come into position that is conducive to just completely letting go of all effort. Relax. Legs are spread open, feet falling away from one another. The hands facing, palms facing up in a gesture of receiving. A little bit away from the body. So now start to sink the body into a state that allows you to be even more receptive to receiving all the gifts of the practice. Bring your attention to the left foot. Relax all the toes, feel them going limp instantly. And the whole foot, the bottom of the foot, the heel, and the top of the foot soften. The ankle is loose, the foot's just hanging off of it, loosely, falling out towards the left. The lower leg, relax all the muscles, all the tension, so it becomes soft, heavy. Up, knee, completely inactive, no sensations coming from there. Upper leg, heavy as can be. All the muscles just feel as though they've been dissolved. All the muscles just hanging off the bones along with the skin, drooping heavily. Right foot, relax all the toes. And the bottom of the foot, the heel soften, the top of the foot relax, no tension, no tightness. The ankle is loose, foot just drops out to the right, lifelessly. The lower leg, all the muscles just relaxed. And feeling that sensation of heaviness creep into the upper leg as well as you release all those muscles too. The whole leg feels like dead weight, heavy as can be. And then at the pelvis, and the hip joint, everything's so heavy, sinking down. So the bones in the pelvis were made of lead. The body feels anchored down. Left hand, lifeless, the fingers just drooping, dead-like off the hand, palm and the back of the hand, the wrist, all relaxed, dead-like. The lower arm and the upper arm, feel all the muscles, all the strength draining out of the muscles, all the tension. Arm just lies there like dead weight. Shoulder, hold it in place. Heavy, no hardness, no tightness, all the fingers, loosen them up. Back of the hand and the palm soft. The wrist completely loose, hand just hanging off of it, dangling off lifelessly. Lower arm, relax all the muscles completely. And then passing through the elbow, just completely like an open gateway, just sends a signal up to the right, left upper arm, so that all those muscles can also be released. The arm feels completely dead. All the way up to the shoulder. Shoulders heavy on the ground, just holding the arm in place. No tightness, no feeling of restriction, just completely relaxed. And then feel the whole back sinking down from starting at the top of the back. Feel everything just falling, sinking into the earth heavily. So there are big weight resting right inside the body, evenly pressing down, so the whole body back just melts into the ground, all the way down, right to the hips. All the organs coming down with it, the heart, the lungs, the kidneys, stomach, pancreas, everything, the intestines, colon, all those becoming so heavy that they become sluggish and even stop their functioning. The abdomen is just loose and soft, no tightness, no discomfort, no hardness, as is the chest. Chest is feeling light, so that even the shallowest of breath, the breath does not affect the chest. It just rises up and back down effortlessly, not disturbed by the breath. From the neck all the way around, no tension, soft. Same with the scalp. No feeling of tightness or effort, everything just relaxed. The head just pressing down into the ground heavily. The face is completely calm, no signs of tension. Forehead smooth. The eyes just relaxed, gazing behind the eyelids, just at the eyelids from within. The jaw is relaxed, the throat is open, tongue resting in its bed, no tension at all anywhere. Between the ears, the brain has become quiet as well, as a result of just the body not responding to the brain. The body is more or less dead. The brain, therefore, has nothing to occupy itself with, or very little. And it too comes to its resting state. So just to the brain to just turn off all the chatter, all the activity, halting. And as a result of all that quietness, you're no longer attuned to the body or the mind, no longer identifying with the body or the mind or the emotions. They are not you. Attuned to the higher consciousness, attuned to God who resides within. Feel God's presence within and all around. And try to remain established in that feeling of security, of love, boundless knowledge that helps you in turn to change all the patterns that cause pain and suffering, such as attachment, such as exercising harm towards others, which sends you always back into a place of just correction of those actions. Strive, therefore, to always live in a way that's in accordance with the ethical rules so that you can stay in that content place where you're not affected by negative karma. Keep that well ingrained in your mind and heart. Act out of a place of love. Speak out of a place of love. Think out of a place of love. Now prepare to just carry that into your day-to-day life. Yoga does not end on the mat. It extends into your daily life. So now prepare to sit up and to carry out that mission and continue to spread love and knowledge that helps others to stay out of a place of suffering. Sitting tall, supreme, in the midst of all difficulties and challenges. As we chant Om Shanti 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 to close the practice, instill the peace within and send it out to all beings. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive to the divine grace of God. All is within. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming. So there is a class next Saturday, which is Christmas Day. All of you still here, so if you're up, then I'd be happy to have you join me. Have a wonderful weekend. Until next time.